Shalom, everybody. I'm right now in London. You can see the iconic Big Ben, and it's really beautiful out here. But, even though I'm here, when my country is under attack, I have to talk to you guys about what's happening in Israel. And I want to start with one quick question. Because imagine if this city where I am right now, imagine if one rocket, I'm not telling you 800 rockets, but imagine if one rocket would have been fired on London, on the Big Ben, or on Berlin, or on Paris, any other European city, one rocket. You would expect all these countries to get up on their feet and to defend their people, right? If one rocket would have been fired on London, you would have seen it all over the news, and we would have been in like Third World War by now. But for some reason, when Israel is targeted, when 800 rockets are fired, thousands of rockets are fired in Israel. Just this past week, over 900 rockets were launched into Israel, and nobody's talking about that. Everybody's silent. The media is silent. But for some reason, when Israel does retaliate and responds, then all the UN and the human rights organizations, they only wake up and start criticizing Israel and saying that we are bombarding Gaza, targeting civilians. But actually, the IDF, the Israeli army, fired and targeted over 190 terror targets, Islamic Jihad targets in Gaza, not civilians. Israel goes, far and beyond to only target terrorists and not civilians. And in the very densely populated Gaza Strip, they do work very hard to not target civilians and only target terrorists, although the terrorists that we are facing up against, they use civilians as human shields. They launched rockets from civilian neighborhoods, from civilian populations and areas, because they know that if anything would ever happen to these Palestinian people, they would just blame Israel. Actually, more than a quarter of the rockets that were launched from Gaza into Israel this past week were misfired and failed and landed inside the Gaza and exploded inside the Gaza Strip and actually killed people there. There was this 10-year-old Palestinian girl that was killed because of a failed rocket that was supposed to hit my people, but it ended up hitting this young girl that died. So Islamic Jihad and Hamas, they are at the end of the day the enemy of their own people, of the Palestinian people. Israel is not their enemy. Israel is not the enemy of the Palestinian people. It is these terror organizations, because Israel doesn't target Palestinians. Israel targets terror organizations. We Palestinian people are not our enemy. I don't hate them. I love them and I pray for them. But the fact that the mainstream media is turning a blind eye to this attack on a sovereign country, this is just ridiculous. Because if London came under attack, if Paris came under attack, everybody would have been talking about this by now, and the whole world would have been up on its feet. But why, when Israel is under attack, nobody cares? Nobody talks about this. This is hypocrisy. This is the mainstream media is turning a blind eye to the facts. And I have a message for those people that criticize Israel, because if you are silent when Israel is under attack, so also be silent, then be quiet when Israel fires back and retaliates, because it's not a right that we have to defend ourselves. It's an obligation. It's not a recommendation to protect our civilians. Every country would have done the same thing. Exactly what Israel is doing, every country would have done the same absolutely thing. Because if London came under attack, you would have wanted your government and your people to defend you, and your army to stand up to those that seek your destruction. So unfortunately, our neighbors aren't as nice as European neighbors, but we do whatever we have to do and whatever it takes to ensure and to safeguard our future. Whether the mainstream media likes it or not, whether it pleases Amnesty or the UN, those hypocrite organizations that have long lost their credibility, they no longer fight for justice and for human rights and for equality. All they fight for is foreign interests. So again, I want to thank you for praying for Israel, and be sure to share this video because I've never seen this video. I've never seen this being shared on any mainstream media, on social media platforms. But we have the power, only we. So if we don't speak up, who's going to speak up for us? So I ask you, please share this video with your friends and family. Get the truth. Let's get the truth to as many people as possible. The media cannot be trusted, but it is all up to us. We are a strong community. So I thank you again for your support, and I wish you a Shabbat Shalom from, I'm not used to say this, but not Shabbat Shalom, not from Israel, but from cold London. Although it's cold here, but our hearts are warm because whenever I see that you pray and support Israel, it warms my heart. So thank you again so much.